Hi all, my name is Miranda Hageman, and I'm here to discuss the impact our changing climate is having on the indigenous peoples of Alaska. I realize it can be difficult to see the effects of climate change in developed interior land spaces such as Montana. We may be experiencing record lows and record highs, but overall our daily routines haven't been forced to change much. These accelerated climatic effects are more notable in island sea states and coastal areas such as Kiribati, the Maldives, and closer to home, we have the Ninth Ward, a district of New Orleans that was completely lost during Hurricane Katrina. And then, of course, my area of interest, the disappearing ice caps of the Arctic. I chose to focus on the Arctic as we may have heard of these melting ice caps, and of course, the poster child for climate change, the polar bear. But the story that seems to be missing is that of the people. As you may have guessed, based on my personal introduction, I became interested in this topic after listening to the Threshold podcast, and I decided to explore further. It is a common misconception that the Arctic is nothing but a frozen landscape filled with polar bears and penguins. However, 4 million people inhabit the Arctic, most of which are indigenous peoples. By asking how our rapidly changing climate and the further extraction of resources are affecting the indigenous peoples of Arctic Alaska, I hope to get a better understanding of the effects of climate change, who is affected, and maybe, just maybe, capture the minds of the doubtful with stories of present-day issues and concerns. This is important to me, for when it comes to polarized issues such as climate change, I'm always looking for a way to connect and communicate with others in order to reach a level of mutual understanding. I also spent a season doing trail work up in Alaska and developed a strong connection with the wild place known as the Last Frontier. In 2016, an executive order was signed to investigate the relocation of 30 Alaskan communities that are being threatened by the rising sea levels and loss of protective ice cover. Sadly, the order was revoked, and these people are once again looking for assistance. Even with aid, relocation for all of these island states and coastal areas is impossible. It's very expensive to relocate communities. And if you remember, the Ninth Ward was forced to give up their identity and integrate into the rest of the U.S. after Hurricane Katrina. But how can we keep asking that of other communities? Imagine asking Boston to give up their identity and disperse among the states. I definitely wouldn't want to be the one to make that request. Not only is it expensive and difficult, but I believe the preservation of peoples and culture is important as well. Whether we are ready to accept it or not, we are currently in a struggle with the land, and these people are of the land and have knowledge to share. With my focus on the Alaskan indigenous, I will be looking at the communities mentioned in the Northern Bering Sea Climate Resilience Executive Order, primarily the Nupia tribal communities. I will also be looking at the 4 tribal communities located on the National Petroleum Reserve in Alaska. Nuiqsut, Alaska is an Inupiat community that is surrounded by 20 oil extraction sites, with the Liberty Energy Project proposal of October 2018 being number 21. Not only are these people being impacted by coastal climatic effects, but by the extraction of resources as well. And I would like to further explore these relationships. Thank you for listening to my proposal, and I look forward to sharing my research with you.